Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. APC top positions, why Adamu Omishiri lost out. INEC, Tinubu. Abuja residents not superior to other Nigerians. Varsity workers demand 50 billion naira earned allowances. Ex-army chief Bamayi, troops should crush bandits. Drop plan to hike electricity tariffs, man cautions. And we have database of 50 million poor Nigerians, says agency. Okay, which story are we starting with? The Nation? I know that, you have a story?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So varsity workers demand 50 billion earned allowances. Okay. So the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, are calling for the release of the 50 billion it agreed with the federal government for the payment of outstanding earned allowances of university unions. So they are also urging the federal government to settle the salaries of union members withheld during the 4 months of strike, saying that they need to recover. If that money is not released, most of the staff members will not recover from, the economic crisis that is happening right now. And so they're asking that the federal government releases the money because the money has already been prepared by them, so they don't know why they are still withholding it. So they made the demands at the end of the 44th National Executive Council meeting at Michael Okpara University of Agriculture in Umudike, Abia. And there was a communique by the national president, Mohammed Ibrahim, and he says, I quote, arising from the collective bargaining agreement signed between the JAC of SANU and NASU and the federal government, government had promised to release 50 billion for the payment of outstanding earned allowances to universities and inter-university centers. This agreement is yet to be fulfilled. They also quoted the Labour Act that gave rights to the staff members or government workers to embark on strike, which is normal. So why are they paying for a strike that the Constitution had given them an approval to go for? They have to be paid.
Okay. Following the controversy over how the federal government plans to get the 12 million poor households that they want to give 8,000 naira to. So here in the report here, it says 15 million poor Nigerians are vulnerable, and they have the data. The federal government has a database to that shows that we have 12 million households with a combined population of 60 million people. And this was given by the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office, that's NASCO. And they mentioned it yesterday, and saying that how they plan to give out this money, according to the transfers will be done directly to bank accounts and mobile wallets of eligible beneficiaries through payment services providers under the platform of the National Cash Transfer Office. According to the beneficiaries, will be mined from the National Social Register, and then that's how, and it will be spread across the 36 states, and no state will have more than the other based on the head count that they have in their database. So according to NASCO, they actually do have the database of 15 million poor Nigerians who are eligible, of which 12 million will be getting this, of a combined household of 60 million people. These are according to the report, people who are extremely poor, and that money would actually go well in helping them to offer the subsidy removal.
Okay, so the ex-army chief, Chief Bamayi, has said that there should be no negotiation with terrorists, that the army should just get rid of them. That he said negotiating with terrorists has never worked and should not be an option in Nigeria. He was talking on the program, Journalist Hangout, TVC program, and he said that he was confident that the army had enough men to flush out the bandits, that it should be they should just go. He said, it's not that we don't have enough men, we just lack the political will, that it should come from the leadership. And
he spoke about how a bandit can be sitting down to talk to a governor. Like, that is just makes you understand how... No, I actually read the story as well. Like, it's ridiculous. We're not ready to actually fight.
Why are they talking to governors? Why? Anyway, he also said that because I watched it, he said that an army man should not be rich. He should be comfortable. That he's comfortable that the army looks after him.
Okay.
I'm making a story about the spike in electricity tariff. The Mr. Segun Ajayi Kadiri, who is the Director General of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, has said that the hike in tariff would directly increase the cost of production for manufacturers. He's urging the federal government and the NEC, that's Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, to ensure improvements in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution, and that they should not increase the prices right now. He said they already have power constituting 20 to 40% of the cost structure of manufacturing within Nigeria, and the impact of a new tariff hike on manufacturing industry will be intensive, especially on metal processing and heavy machinery, chemical manufacturing. And it's just appealing that the rate review needs to incorporate change in the macro economy and all of that. We're hoping that NEC actually listens to manufacturers, because if they have to now shut down some industries, we will be having more people unemployed. The impact is far-reaching.
The Punch. Audit report nails Adamu Obishiri as Tinubu governor's shop for new chair. Army intercepts Anambra-bound truck with ammunition. Lover, prophet to die by hanging for killing Lasu undergraduate. Poultry farmers shutting down over high maize price. Suspended EFCC chair spends 33 days in custody. FG grants 56 import licenses as fuel consumption drops. Anthrax, government plans nationwide animal vaccination. And politicians flooding government's house, distracting me, says Akwa-Ibom governor. Okay, which story are we starting with? In the Punch?
Yes, please. Said it has issued over 56 petrol import licenses to oil marketers since the subsidy was officially removed May 29th. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, was the one who disclosed this during a meeting with downstream stakeholders in Lagos. That happened yesterday. And according to him, he said out of the 56 licenses granted, 10 of them had made a commitment to import duties or products from July to September. And, you know, they had to call the meeting to discuss the way forward after the removal of subsidy, and said out of those licenses, 10 people indicated seriousness to start importing. And it says some of the petrol vessels had already arrived in the country. And he said the journey has started already. We can say it's possible for other marketers to join the race if they see that other people have started and they are going to be making money based on the policies on ground. And so they want to, as much as possible, keep the supply steady so that there's no scarcity of petroleum at all. And he said they also realized that daily consumption had dropped to 47 million from, I think, about 65 million of Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians have reduced using the petrol. And they went ahead to list some of the people who have started discharging the products. AY Asafa has discharged to Pinnacle. Prudence and Emma Deb has also imported. You know, companies, other companies are also indicating interest that they want to join in this business. So hopefully market forces will be able to balance it out.
Right.
We may begin to pay less for petrol. That's the hope we have.
Okay, I hope so. So the Nigerian army has intercepted a truckload of ammunition en route to Anambra. This was done by, intercepted by the troops of the 192 Battalion on Saturday during a rigorous stop and search. A statement made by the Director, Army Public Relations Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu revealed that a total of 18,000 cartridges and an additional 250 packets of live black cartridges containing 10 packets each were all intercepted by the 192 Battalion Nigerian Army operating. According to the earlier preliminary investigation, information gathered was that the ammunition was surreptitiously concealed in a supposed empty truck and was imported from Mali via Idiroko international border, where the criminals had successfully beaten several other checkpoints en route to their final destination on Onitsha, Anambra State, where they intended to deliver the illegal ammunition. And the troops stopped them there, and it's really, I mean, you see all the guns, the various cartridges. Obviously, they have guns, but they needed...
what the army need to do is they need to investigate, find out who they were delivering to.
Yes,
and
so obviously...
who gave them where did they pick up the
Absolutely.
That way you will be able to curb this.
Yeah.
If they caught that, some would have...
so the Ghanaian man, one of the driver, I think, the driver, said the man, Eric Sewove, he's a Ghanaian national, and the driver, Mr. Lukman Sani. So they're two Nigerians. Hopefully they can use them to get leads to the real supplier. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to take the story of...
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Do you have a story in Punch?
Yes, I do. The poultry farmers across the country are currently shutting down. They are shutting down due to the hike in prices of maize. They said that, of course, you cannot have a poultry, you can't run a poultry business without maize. And they said that officially from the Poultry Association of Nigeria on Monday, they said the industry is on the verge of total collapse if urgent intervention is not channeled. So in 2020, there was a lockdown and there's a ban was placed on maize, and the insecurity challenges in the north, banditry, has caused the local production of maize to dry up completely. There's been a 60 to 70% consistent rise on the cost of feed, which is largely based on maize. And this is affecting the cost of egg. Egg price has gone up by over 100%. Over the past few months. And they said that the reason is obvious: maize, maize, maize. And there's a need for intervention. So the 2020 intervention that the government tried to provide didn't come directly to the farmers. It is just a few people that were able to access it. But out of the 400,000, Nigeria has a 400,000 metric ton maize production shortfall. So obviously there's a crisis. Many businesses are shutting down, and the challenge is for the business to shut down. The loss is multiple losses. Loss of job. Chickens cannot be stopped from eating. So for you to shut down means that you're killing the chicks, which means that you're cutting off your production. Some of these people took loans to create the business. So there's a whole lot of intervention needed within this industry.
Punch. Okay.
Prophet Segun Philip and his and Owolabi Adeeko, 23-year-old, they are to die by hanging for killing Adeeko's Owolabi's girlfriend, and then the mother who ate the flesh, of the girlfriend, they gave her 2 years.
Hey.
Apparently, the girl was a university, a Lagos State University undergraduate. He sent her to. He lured her to come to his place in Osun State. That's where they killed her, removed her vital organs, or some of her organs, and buried the remains. Gave it to the mother to eat for her business to prosper.
Ew.
She's only getting 2 years.
She only got 2 years.
Because we don't have a law. Probably our law doesn't cover cannibalism or something. I don't know, because that should be followed under cannibalism.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on to Daily Sun. APC suspends NEC as Ikire found to take over. 2023 poll, it's up to Nigeria to decide what to do with our report, says EU. Akpata delivers NUJ's Ayim Ude Memorial Lecture on Thursday. Government kills 6 in Benue, monarch in Imo, councillor in Enugu. World Bank, FG, or your government to mop up 1.5 million out-of-school students. Emefiele's lawyers vow to jail DSS DG for contempt. CDS, Chief of Army Staff, promised to prioritize troops' welfare and transform military. Soldiers intercept southeast-bound guns and ammunition. Okay, which story is starting in Sun?
Said Ushongo local government area of Benue State yesterday, gunmen suspected to be bandits invaded 2 communities and killed 6 people. Locals from the area were the ones that, made the report, and they said the attackers stormed Igba Okio and Sebaka and killed many people that Sunday night. And according to the story, they said it was after the victims celebrated their victory at a friendly football match, which was organized by their local chief, that these bandits just came in and decided to attack them. They said they came after the people had gone to rest for the night, and they came in at about 12 a.m. and started shooting. So most of the villagers ran into the bush for their safety, and they were just able to return from their hiding in the morning. They said about 20 people were killed, including members of a particular family. Some were still missing at the time that they were filing the report. They said also that there was no security guard personnel on ground at, during the time that this was happening. So the villagers were left on their own. But the police is aware of what has happened. I think investigation has started.
Right. So the head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria on the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Samuela Issopi, said that it was up to Nigeria to decide what they want to do with their report. If you recall, the presidency was rather harsh, according to this report, their reaction to the report presented by the EUEOM, that's the European Union Election Observation Mission. The presidency had rejected the report, saying it was a product of poorly done desk job that relied heavily on few persons. They also said that it was to merely sustain the same premature denunciatory stance contained in the EU's report. So they had said, from Samuelina was saying that it's all dependent on the federal government to accept or do what they want, whatever they plan to do with the report. However, it's not going to affect their own relationship with the EU. According to her, they have a very strong relationship with Nigeria, and there were also ongoing engagements between the EU and various institutions within Nigeria. So they have a very good relationship with the federal government, and they don't expect that to affect it in any way. So
I wanted to take the story of the Akwa-Ibom governor. He has urged politicians to allow him to concentrate on his job he was elected to do. He said that they will just be visiting him anyhow. He said, he will not go to anybody's office without appointment. He said, so he finds it amusing that they will just be showing up anyhow. Then they will call you that they have not been allowed to pass through the government gate. I will only receive visitors Thursdays and Fridays. I'm helping you pass your message. Thursdays and Fridays. I beg. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I
want to work.
Allow me to work. The work that they have elected me to do.
All right, it's a hot topic. We'll come back to it. Let's take another. Let's move on to. You have another story?
Yes, quickly. I'll take it very fast. 1.5 million children. The Oyo State government plans to bring back 1.5 million out of school children into the classrooms. It's a good initiative. It is being supported by the World Bank and federal government, and they are working with Oyo State as well as Adamawa State. It's a special program called Better Education Service Delivery for All, additional funding, transforming educational system at state level. So it's BESDA AF test, which will be providing assistance to the government to be able to bring back children from school. Oyo State is saying that they're not just taking care of Oyo students now, that a lot of people are coming from other states to access the free education in Oyo State, even from other countries to come into Oyo to access free education within Oyo State. But I'm happy that this is a plan, and this is because they have been consistent in the way they use the funds they got before in bringing pupils back into classrooms. So we're looking forward to this 1.5.
Vanguard. Our weapons against insecurity, says service chiefs. APC crisis, Tinubu shops for Adamu's successor. I have no hand in Southeast mayhem, says Simon Ekwa. National Assembly committees, lawmakers scramble for Tinubu's budget endorsements. Deregulation, marketers begin fuel importation. Take that story, right? Why we faked our abduction, demanded ransom from our parents, says minors. Customs seized cache of arms at Lagos ports. Emefiele, lawyers initiate contempt case against DSS DG Bichi. All right, which story?
Okay, so this is the story of two female minors who staged their abduction in Oka, Akoko Southwest local government area of Ondo State. And according to them, they blamed the abduction on the maltreatment by their mother. So the girls are 15 and 13 years in junior secondary school, School 3 and Senior Secondary School 1, and they were amongst the 28 suspected criminals paraded by the state security outfit Amotekun in Akure, the state capital. So they had planned their own abduction and then started demanding 100,000 naira from their mother. So when the mother saw that they were missing, quickly went and reported the matter to the police. The police started investigating through the number that they called with, only for them to find out it's the two girls that claimed they were abducted that are actually making the call to receive the 100,000 naira ransom. They had even threatened the local chief that if they don't send that money, they are going to kill the abductees, not knowing that the abductees were actually the ones making the calls. So by the time they started questioning, they said that their mother has been maltreating them, not treating them well, doesn't behave like she's their mother. So this was like a payback to them. I'm just wondering, age 13 and how old?
15,
and 15, 13 and 15.
They said that when they arranged it in Punch as well, they said they didn't know when they made the call that it was the traditional chief.
Oh, they spoke to.
It is well. So some group of lawyers have initiated a case of contempt against the DSS DG. They said that the DSS DG has withheld the former CBN governor for a long time. They said the prolonged detention of the suspended governor, and they're saying it is against, they will take actions against the DG. They are a group of human rights lawyers, and the representative, Mr. Maxwell Okpara and Ahmed Tijani, have done an affidavit to accuse the DSS boss of disobeying subsisting court judgment with regards to Emefiele's arrest and detention. They also claim that the security agency is acting in breach of the judgment of the courts, and they are going to be prosecuted. No, they are going to initiate a case of contempt against the DSS boss.
Wow. We have to wrap up. But I got a message referencing what you said concerning cannibalism in Lagos. According to Mr. Osun Oladele, was saying that Section 242, subsection 2 of the Criminal Code is the law. It provides 2 years imprisonment for anyone eating human parts, while the punishment for immediate is death penalty. Kindly find a way to get. So I guess there is a law concerning cannibalism.
I said we need to update the law. No. I said we need to update the law on cannibalism.
So yes, it's too small for committing a human being.
The law needs to be reviewed.
How you take see the body take chop?
I don't understand.
It's not that you killed somebody, so but you're also an accomplice.
Yes.
To murder.
Well, maybe they couldn't.
He's not aware.
Maybe you couldn't differentiate that it was a human part.
No. They couldn't get the evidence against her that she knew about the killing. Maybe they just gave her the human
part to eat.
She didn't know it was them that killed.
That is, there's a law, but it's 2 years.
It's too small.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, bring in a sponsor segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.